The soiled utility room is where nursing staff takes our biohazardous material, our soiled linens, and it also has a urinal in it. That's where nursing staff took these babies and left them to die.
When a co-worker of mine was taking one of these babies, who was a Downs baby, who was aborted between 21 and 22 weeks alive, to the soiled utility room, when she told me what she was doing, and I stepped in and said that I couldn't let this baby die alone, and I held him for the 45 minutes that it took for him to die.
Yes, we have differences on abortion that are deep and profound. I think they're terribly important. But Barack Obama defended infanticide, the killing of fully born infants who had survived a failed abortion attempt and were then left for hours in soiled linen baskets to die.
I would have been completely and fully in support of the federal bill that everybody supported, which was to say that you should provide assistance to any infant that was born, even if it was as a consequence of an induced abortion. That was not the bill that was presented at the state level. I hate to say that people are lying, but here's a situation where folks are lying.
And that essentially adding an additional doctor who then has to be called in an emergency situation to come in and make these assessments is really designed simply to burden the original decision of the woman and the physician to induce labor and perform an abortion.
The same language protecting Roe was indeed in a 2003 version of the Illinois bill. Yet Obama, the chairman of the committee responsible for the bill, still voted against it.
Now, at issue is Obama's vote against an Illinois law that would have protected infants born alive after a botched abortion procedure. Now, Obama defends the vote, claiming that his state version of the bill did not mirror the federal one which protected Roe v. Wade, but his own campaign seems to disagree. In a statement to the New York Sun, an Obama campaign spokesman acknowledged that the bill Obama voted down was in fact identical to the federal version.
But Barack Obama defended infanticide, the killing of fully born infants who had survived a failed abortion attempt.
True, no, and I think that if I were a mother of a suffering child, I would be the first to want, I mean a deeply suffering child, I would be the first to want to put a pillow over its face.
Dr. Peter Evans
as I would with any suffering thing. And I think the difference is that my feeling of horror at suffering is much greater than my feeling of getting rid of a couple of cells, because suffering can go on for years.
I'm sorry, I was just about to introduce another guest there, but that's a pretty horrifying thing to say, that you would put a pillow over.
Of course I would, if it was a child I really loved who is in agony. I think any good mother would.
That's going to cause some shock amongst people.
I don't know any mother who wouldn't say that if there was nothing else that could be done, and it was
just not true.
Do you think that mothers would agree with you?
I think a lot would. Maybe not any, but a lot.